on site. What's up, my people? Back from Vegas. What an awesome show that was. We'll have to do a live feed or something just to talk about that. I made a video, but it was just so choppy, too much going on, and it didn't come out good, so I didn't want to put it out. And there's a lot of videos of Con Expo on the internet now for 2023. You guys can check them out. I was with Diesel Creek, Let's Dig, Dirt Perfect, Captain Kleeman. The list goes on. There was so many. I got to meet all the cast from Gold Rush, like Parker and Tony Beach, Dave Curran, shook all their hands, Juan, you know, and you can catch him throughout the show. I saw Dave at a different, you know, just in line for the bus, and we were just chatting about his upcoming new show and all that stuff. It was really cool. Got to see all the new equipment out there, a lot of electric stuff, which I'm not a big fan of, but it is what it is. They got to appease, they got to stay with the times, you know, not meaning that's where we're going, but you got to do it. So today we're just focusing on the freezer pad. I got to excavate this all down, this box in between this plumbing. As you see, the steel's up, the roof is on. I haven't been filming. A lot of people are like, what's going on? But when the trade's starting here, you know, you just can't rip out the camera and start yelling back on site. You know, it gets a little awkward. People don't want to be on film, you know, just for OSHA purposes and all that stuff. So kind of respect all that. So I'm kind of alone over here in the corner. So that's where I'm at. This is going to get dug down. I'll show you the print. And it gets a bunch of foam in it, which I'm not doing. I'm just doing the excavating, getting this down and putting the stone base down in the bottom here. So I got to go down about 14 or 16 inches roughly, and then 6 inches of stone in the bottom, and bada boom, bada bing, bada bing, bada boom. Yep, the Busa fits in here. Not sure if I'm going to dig that with the skid steer and load all the dirt out in here, because it is 44 feet by 16 feet by 16 inches depth. So there's going to be some material coming out of there, and I don't think the 88, I'm going to be fighting the top here to load it, because I only have 12 foot where we're digging in clearance height. But get this dirt out here, and HYDREMA was at the show. I met a lot of good people, made some good connections, doing some networking for future stuff, which is great. Trying to get sponsorships and whatnot. We're just gonna dump this over here. So the next thing on this phase is I'm gonna be grading that. They're gonna get the concrete floor poured in there. What's left here is the retaining wall from those stairs out to this stake right there next to that light pole. That gets a retaining wall. And once that's in, then we can excavate the rest of this material out for the loading dock ramp going down in. And I got my catch basin all installed. I'll give you a quick peek at that over here while I'm there. See down in there, in that hole, there's a catch basin. I got that all installed. The pipe goes through those stairs, and then we put it into that manhole with the cone on top. All that's already done. All right, let's get the crusher run off and save this first. That was already put in. We'll reuse this. Our marks are, that plumbing is right at the freezer slab, so those plumbing structures will be exposed. We'll set that over there for now, and basically what we take off the top here, we go back into the bottom. It's the same square footage. We'll get this off and then set the laser, get our depth set. inches down, do that center. I didn't want to cut too much, you know. Going with it real close to the top, loading the truck. I don't want to take that chance. I'll scoop it out with the skid steer and get the rest of the dirt out. 2 inches to go, then we'll throw some 6 inches of stone in there. In the best skid steer made. You heard it. Scoop this up. Throw it in the boost. Knows of any tires that I could get for this tire size is 655 26.5. all right, they're the tires I need. I need 2 tires. I got 2 brand new ones and 2 bad ones, so I need HYDREMA tires. Again, 655 26.5. email me. Of course, we got a big chunk of shell that I just split in half. Look at that thing. Big old rock. All right, she's ugly and wet, but it's hard. That base is wicked hard underneath, except for like the slurry. But I'm gonna throw some stone in here now, and that'll be ready for foam. Just triple check the grade. We're coming in with stone. Clean number 2. It's got a little crusher unmixed into it, but all good. We'll throw it all in. Dry this place up. Got my pile right out here out the door. A little bit of snow here. Push that over there. All right, kind of comb them up a couple inches. I'm just going to shoot grade real quick, show you how I make it work, so I can see in the machine. So I make myself a pile to the grade. That's grade. Then I know to get that high with the stone. All right, that's one freezer pad all graded out. Gonna let it set overnight. Hopefully it will, obviously, you see all the rain, snow melt coming in off these roofs. I mean, crazy, but it's at least not hitting this pad like it was. And we'll let this dry up overnight, smack it with the tamper in the morning, and then the concrete guys will lay foam in here. This has got to be poured first before the regular slab. There's a big detail in there. I'll show you in a bit. That's better. I couldn't leave until that was graded on the edges. Drove me nuts. So we'll wait till tomorrow to compact. Stockpile my pile there. This is going to grade out nice and easy. Again, I'll come in with the dozer and with the laser on the boom. We'll give it a 1-2, then polish it off with the KUBOTA for a 3-4, and then hit it with the roller, and we should be good to go. Over here, still got a lot of cleanup from the plumbers, a lot of dirt on the top. We'll scrape that real quick, throw it in the low spots, and then top it with the V-Crush. But once these guys get this all cleaned up, I'll be good to go. Get this ready for the floor. Takes me a day or so just to prep. that tamper. Oh, she's looking pretty in there with the sunlight on her. Let's get her smacked down with a 1-2. Call this one. Oh, we got a little water in there, a little water a little less, but not bad. Not bad at all. That's all rolled in, water coming to the top, but it will dry up. Hopefully it dries up before they pour, because it will shrink up, that's for sure. Big bathtub here. Oh yeah, got the smart pump going. She's drinking. That hole was already in the wall, so I put it up and out. It would have been ideal if I could put it out level, but it is what it is. But she's drinking. There's a smart pump right here. I have a video on it if anybody wants to see it. It's when I did that retention pond. Pump's pretty cool. But we'll let this drink for a while and see where we're at. What's cool about this smart pump is you can't burn it out. So it's pulsating. The minute it gets low, it shuts off. It gets a little more in there. She pumps up. On site through the audible. They need this a conduit in today. Ton of water coming out these pipes. 3 foot down we gotta go. We're out of slope as you see with the excavator, but it doesn't matter because we got the diesel tilt bucket on there to make the bottom of the trench level. Gotta go down past that first snow banking and into the building. Like I say, always line up your marks and cut that 6 inches first. Get that straight line. This is all fill back here, and there's blacktop concrete and everything else in there, so the sides of the banks are blowing out as I grab a piece. But and this is the back of the building, so there's tons of water gonna come off that roof now that it's roofed out those scuppers and fill this trench in. So they gotta hustle up. We got rain coming tonight, so hopefully they can get this conduit in. We can backfill it, but if not, we'll open up a plug and let the water all run out. We can definitely daylight it with this slope in the back. Again, I'm on a slope leaning to the right, and you just tilt this bucket to get your bottom of your trench like so, and it will keep that bottom nice and flat. If you didn't have the tilt bucket, you still could make the bottom flat by just using the blade and coming sideways with your tracks. A lot more moving around, but you could do it. Keep your sides all clean, away from the trench. Fell in a little bit on me. "36 inches down." I just take a measurement with your boom at 90 and bucket all the way open. So with my bucket all the way open and 90, those pins on the thumb is 3 foot, so I got to go down about 3 more inches here. Soft bottom here. We're into back there where that water is was all hard ground. We were into virgin ground, but now we're into the fill. It's just soft bottom. 90 down, and looking good right there. And that way you don't have to get out, measure nothing. You just eyeball it to the bank and close enough. This somewhat clean. It's going to get mucky and messy real quick once that water comes, because you know how it works. I doubt them electricians they say they got are gonna get this done today, but from my experience, not gonna happen. Banks or the dirt is giving out on my tracks. To the right, I'm sinking down quite a bit. I just had to reposition myself and then use the angle on the boom to get straight, so I can get up on this bank a little bit more. If I had to, I could take the dirt I'm digging out and pad myself up, but just trying to get through it. These guys want to get this in right now, and they're waiting on me. This Komatsu sure is quiet, isn't it? You guys can't even hear them pumps running or nothing, I guarantee it. It's super quiet. Still trenching. The slope is getting worse on my on the back side of me here. Just to show you the if I put the bucket straight, you would see how it is in the trench. Good 10 inches out, so you gotta flatten it like this, and that will give you your bottom nice and nice. So if I just had a conventional bucket, it would be 10 inches of slope in the bottom of that trench, which you couldn't, those guys wouldn't be happy with that. Diesel tilt bucket, check them out. Website's super easy to navigate. All the pricing's on there. They ship throughout the whole US. And ask for John, it's J-O-N. I'll put a link in the description if I remember. But I have several videos talking about these attachments. I have these attachments I have on my 160. I got their 4-foot bucket on there, all AR 400 reinforced and strong. I mean, I've had no issues, knock on wood. I got this from them. I got the plate compactor that goes on the end of this hoe. So good people to work with. They're out of Syracuse, New York, close to me, 2 hours away. Got no marks here because that's where the snow was. Just rolling it by eye now. Come on, baby. When they put these conduits in, I tell them to hug the left side of the bank, so when I backfill the pile to the right, I don't move them. It will hold tight to the bank, and that's the deepest part. And there's going to be a grade change here anyways, even though we went 36 on the inside of the bank. The right side, because it's sloped, is going to be less, but again, this whole grade's going to come up. I don't know if you can tell how sloped I am, but it's just, well, you guys seen all the videos of how steep this was. This is pretty steep right here, so I'm gonna try to get back up on this line somehow. Try to cheat it with the boom. Not bad, not bad. So yeah, like I was saying with the utilities, sometimes the water line might be 7 foot in the ground. It's only supposed to be 4 foot around here, but they had a grade change. Originally it was 4 foot when they placed it, but then they went over the top of it with the fill. It changes the grade, changes the depth, I mean. So you'll run into that on sites like this. All right, almost closed out here. We're gonna make a big notch for the building because there's gonna be other there's 4 conduits coming in, but then something else has to come out, so I gotta have enough room towards the building. There's water going to go in between this trench and the building, but that's not me. That is the original site guys. They take care of that. That trench, not my straightest trench, but for the circumstances it's pretty good. Just got to notch out back to the building here. They got to see what they need for sweeps here, how far they're going to be. I think they're 3-foot sweeps. Let me check. Oh yeah, baby, I'm like leaning back in a recliner how steep I am. I just slid off this hill. Let me try to get this dirt out of the way. I guess I can put it here for now. I'm gonna make this notch and then I'll open this trench so it daylights, because we're gonna have mega water coming in here. A little bit of frost up against the building. I'll get out and show you guys the steepness of this. Right now when I'm going to the right, the boom still wants to pull me right off the hill. I can't even climb it. It's so slimy and steep it is. But if I spin myself around, put the blade up, it will level me up. But I'm afraid to get down in there and then just slide into the retaining wall. She was getting real mushy. So right here's our knockout. We got a hit. There's a foam knockout that goes down to the footing. Here's my line here. I'm just gonna notch this. I'm probably gonna walk myself up, spin around up here, and reposition. This is looking good. That's not supposed to look like that. Hey, you can't park there. You can't park there. Unbelievable. Got myself in a stupid position. I knew that bank was soft in here. All this water. Now I gotta get out. What I wanted to do is get here and just pull it neat and then run a plug here. I should have stayed up above here, but even though this is still super steep, I should have stayed up there and just hogged it this way and then just tried to hog a plug. But regardless, I'm not going to worry about the plug now. I'm going to get up here and get the heck out. And I can't even get down in here probably to get out. They want me to move that snow anyways, but you can't park here. That's a thumbnail, huh? Well, for a second I thought I was kind of in trouble because when I went to go swing that boom up, it was such at an angle, the boom had no power to go. So then I was like, oh boy, so I had to swing the boom down, and at that point she wanted to tip even more. I mean, that one track was buried right in. It's so soft over here. I'm surprised the machine had enough power to pick it up out and pull it and push it up. Is this, my bucket was all the way down in the ground, and like I said, it just got lucky that it came out that easy. It is what it is. Put yourself in stupid positions. All right, frustration's over. It's so soft back here, it's crazy. I mean, the machine had no power on the swing. That was like kind of upsetting there for a second. I'm like, oh boy. That's how you get pinned. If the machine can't have its own power to get up and out. I should have stayed up here. I know better than that, but I don't know why I went down there. But it all worked out. I was thinking, you know, to get out and have an escape. That's why I was gonna, and then pull the plug as I went out and not block myself with dirt like I am now, because I don't know if I could go up, continue on out. So this machine may have to stay here until I'm ready to backfill. Not sure. I will assess that in a bit. Get to this wall real quick. we'll dig right down to the footer. They wanted this extra wide here. For some reason, I don't know. More conduits coming in or out for something else that they're gonna go to after. Well, let me get this cleaned up and then we'll look for an escape out of this death trap. The old 88 pulled through though. When you're on a slope like that and you start doing functions and pulling with the boom and trying to track and this and that, and then they don't want to move, you know. Sometimes you get lucky and they'll spin out, but like as I pulled that one boom there and she just went the opposite way that I wanted it to, just slid off. But it's best to get out and look what you got before you start pulling levers when you get in that position, because next thing you know you slide down into that retaining wall, then you're fixing that. And like I said, the bottom went right out. There was no bottom there. It's so much muck and slop that you could just, when you go to swing right, because I couldn't swing left, the boom wouldn't do it. If I swung right, then you're putting way more pressure on that track, and that could have just tipped me right down in, and then you're done. You have to get another machine and pull it up out, because she will she can flip at that point. Alright, she's cleaned up. So now the next predicament is to get out this way. And we definitely don't want to be going off this. I mean, we're steep right now. Level is right there. You see the tilt on the bucket, so there's the angle we're at. They want this snow moved so they could do something here. I don't know, finish something, but if we stay tight to the building, it's hard. And I get past this snow, I should be able to get back around. So I do want to get the machine out of here, because we're going to get a ton of rain. These guys ain't ready for backfill. Alright, let's see if we can blade this without sliding. Get it off here. There we go. There we go. We're coming out and around. I'll go off that part now, Mike. Get this out of the way. We got metal studs we're pulling. Everything's buried here. Oh, lordy, lordy. All right. I guess next phase is going to be grading this out. Everything's cleaned out, ready for me. I've just been putting the crusher on up against the foam, putting the foam behind these metal piers, because there's chunks that are missing. Everywhere there was a pier, we had to wait till the column got put in and then put that piece of foam in. And then I'm gonna get up, put it about ½ inch high, then we'll roll the heck out of this and tamp it. I haven't shot grade yet, but I think this is about 1.5 inches low in a lot of spots from these guys erecting this, and the ground being so soft. We got a lot of water here still coming up. We got a 1,000,000 BTU heater. We're gonna crank it up tonight and let this thing run all night, dry up this sub base, because if I start grading this and get my big roller in here, we'll pump this ground sure and heck. And this is the freezer pad that is all pressure treated, 1-inch foam on the inside. You guys see me prep this, and basically this is going to get poured first. It's a broom finish, and then the slab meets to that, and then they frame right on this pressure treated wood the enclosure, and then that becomes the indoor freezer. But a lot of grading up here. We got a shoot grade, like I said, that's what the extra crusher runs for, to go around the perimeter. and then all the spots that have to be touched up, but that will be a separate video. I'm gonna end this video now. A lot of cleanup here from the plumbers I gotta do. Gotta still backfill there, backfill there. The electricians, I excavated that today, punched that hole through, and yeah, that's it. They're gonna get some lights up here, string them up so we can see, and because once this is closed off in a day or so, it's gonna be dark in here. All right, guys, in the office here. So here's the freezer pad right here. That is what we did between the two columns, 16 feet wide by 40 something long, 43.7 actually. So let me get to the detail. All right, let's get to the detail here. So this is the detail. Zoom in on this. Let me get you over here. Hang on. All right, so right here is the detail for that. You see B2 section freezer slab. This is the stone I put under here. It calls for, there's the two pressure treated. Let me zoom in so you guys can see that better. The two pressure treated boards that you've seen around there, and then the blue foam that you saw, the 1 inch is right here. This is the concrete 4-inch slab, and this, it calls for 6 inches of foam over the top of my stone. So that's it. That will get poured, and then this is the regular concrete floor will get poured, butted right up to that treated bit, that pad. Hope that makes sense.